Hey guys, this is SoulRack333 with another custom review, and here I have an actual Transformers Titans Return custom. Let's call him Reverse Blurr. And this is kind of a collaboration. So someone contacted me and gave me a really good idea on what to do with this Blurr, and I thought it was interesting and thought I'd give it a shot. And this is also 100% new paint, so I didn't use any Testors acrylic paint because again they are discontinued. So the paints that I've been using for almost 14 years are no longer made. When I first started customizing, I used Krylon spray paint ultra flat black, and man, I wish they'd still made that one because I know I've gotten better with my customs over the years. So I'm kind of curious to see how my customs would be today if they still had the ultra flat black. But then I had to use the flat black, which is what I've been using, and then they just discontinued that. And so I did try the matte black, and I didn't like that. That's when things started looking kind of dark with my customizing, because that matte black, the paint just didn't look right on it. I was able to make it work, but no, I wasn't really happy with it. The matte black was what I used for that authentic Soundwave, that dollar store one. Came out pretty cool, but yeah, I wasn't too comfortable with that. But this one I used the Krylon chalkboard, which feels like flat black, so that worked. So the chalkboard, and then the rest of the paint was Vallejo paint. And I do like how the Vallejo paints are packaged in that little bottle, and you can just do drops at a time. So that's cool. I'm just not too sure on the colors, but the colors I used for this custom did the job, so I'm pretty happy with the colors. It actually doesn't look any different from what I did before, and so I'm happy. And as you can see, not all of the figure is painted. I did mask up some areas. I taped up the windows to keep them clear, masked up the front part, and I think it came out really cool. It feels like, I mean, somehow it looks sleeker, looks faster, and kind of makes me think of Tron or Automan, where you have outline of a vehicle and then some parts that are glowing. So that's the factory paint that is glowing, and everything else looks kind of metallic. So yeah, that looks really like how that turned out. And calling it Reverse Blurr, kind of like Reverse Flash, where what should be blue is now silver, and what should be silver is now blue or red. So yeah, came out pretty cool. And I don't have a before, but I do have this one, so you can get a kind of a comparison. It's my Titans Return RC. And then here's the, I guess, the Studio Series 86 Blurr. So since I have this, I have no problems customizing this Blurr. So both Blurrs. Normally I would do a little cutaway but I will transform him on camera. Here's his weapon and his little Titan Master right there. You'll see him in a second. Transform this, just fold that down, fold this in, separate these, just untab, and fold back. A lot of untabbing and unfolding. Separate the legs, fold this in, tab the shins, unfold the feet. Tab the arms, and fold these back. And there is the body. And then little Titan Master, I painted him up to be kind of a mini Blurr. So same paint scheme as the full body. And there he is. Looking very cool. There's his gun. Yeah, I'm really surprised by how much I like leaving that unpainted and then next to the parts that were painted. Here's the shield piece. That's also unpainted. Probably best to leave it unpainted, that way it can be easily removed. But yeah, looks very cool. And there these two are side by side. And then the Studio Series version. So yeah, I'm definitely not painting that one. And then I want to show kind of a side-by-side comparison. This is, I think, the most recent full repaint that I did with the old paints. So not that much of a difference here. I think what you're seeing here is I was a little bit more heavy-handed with the silver with my sound wave, and this one not as much. But still have the same style, so I'm happy with that. I think it still has that soul rack style. And then a really old custom with a similar paint scheme. So yeah, I think that works. This one has pretty much the same paint scheme, mostly silver with some blue and some red. I think the Vallejo paint, that's just blue, red. This one is the Tester's acrylic, I think Insignia blue and Guardian red. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with how it came out. And but I'm still gonna have to, you know, try customizing some more with the new paints, see how I feel about them. But so far so good. So again, I used Krylon chalkboard, which feels like flat black, and then all Vallejo paints, Vallejo silver, Vallejo blue, Vallejo red. And then for the eyes, I just mixed 1 drop of blue and 1 drop of white. There you go. So mixing the colors was actually pretty simple, because you can count how many drops you use and go from there. So pretty happy with this. Here's my custom reverse blur, and there's Boudica.